I'm going to be going every couple of minutes. So
You didn't kill me.
You're listening to Those Dram Yinzers with your hosts, Jon and Zack.
Hey everyone, I'm Jon.
and I'm Zack.
And welcome to Those Dram Yinzers, where we drink whiskey.
And talk about it.
For everything Those Dram Yinzers, be sure to visit thosedramyinzers.com. You can find our social media links, our Patreon page, the order form for our hats, and the link to Zach's favorite website.
Oh, John, are you talking about dramit.threadless.com?
Why, yes I am.
Ah, fabulous site. Great place to go buy swag of everyone's favorite whiskey, Pittsburgh-based podcast. You know, it's a great way to put us through, our kids through school. So check it out. Buy their books.
If you're interested in sponsoring the show, want us to do an ad for your product, or would like us to try your product on the show, send us a DM or an email. Before we get drinking, we have one more like promotional-ish thing. I don't have it written up, so we're going to do it live. So I am a big fan of the products from Frostbuddy, and we'll get into what Frostbuddy is in here in a second. I've bought so much that they added me to their affiliate program, so I'm just using that for the show. So basically what happens is if you use the link that we provide to go to this website and buy their products, we get like a portion of like whatever your total was. So it's a nice way to support the show, but also while you're shopping anyway. And trust me, after we talk about this, and I'm going to have a video come out soon that shows the products and everything like that, you're gonna want these. Trust me. So Frostbuddy, I found because of TikTok. They've been blown up on TikTok. Basically, think of it as a Yeti koozie, but on steroids.
Mm-hmm.
So their flagship product is called the Universal Buddy. And I have one here, and I was showing Zach. He's like, oh, yeah, that. And it's great because it looks just like a Yeti koozie, which you're like, well, Jon, why would I need it if I have a Yeti koozie? Because the Yeti koozies, if you have regular 16-ounce, or, whatever, regular cans, regular 12-ounce cans, you have one Yeti. If you have the skinny boys, like I have my Celsius here, the tall, skinny ones, it's still 12 ounces. You'd have to get a different Yeti. Mm-hmm. If you got the big monster cans or whatnot, you got to get a different one. If you got the bottles, like the big glass bottles, like beer bottles, you'd have to get probably a different, you know what I mean? You'd have to have 3-ish Yetis to do that. One Universal Buddy, hence why the name of it, is all of that.
And a bag of chips.
Together. It has an insert that fits every type of size. And if, like the big cans, like the big boys, the big, what are these, 16-ounce? Yeah, the big 16-ouncers like Monster and all that stuff. Like, you can take the insert out and fit it on here. And it's great because then it's got a twist-on lid. And it keeps everything. I take this to the beach.
Nice.
I take it, it sits out by the pool, cold consistently because I'm a slow drinker. So on the days when you don't want something whiskey related, but you still want to have a drink, whether alcoholic or not, this is definitely like a must have. Mm-hmm. And they're really good. Like if something's wrong with it, like they're really like something was wrong with my first order, and they sent me a brand new one free of charge.
That's great.
Because it wasn't up to their standards. They are all kind of different colors. I just got a standard gray, but they have all kind of different colors. But if you are in the mood for a whiskey like drink, and you want to make yourself a to-go cocktail, like if you're at the beach or at the pool, and you don't want the sun beating down on the ice, they have an accessory for this that you take off like the standard lid, and it gives you you buy a drink lid.
Oh, cool.
It's upstairs. I left it upstairs. You buy a drink lid. I did that at the beach.
Nice.
Anything I was drinking, because I didn't want sand in my stuff.
Oh, sure.
Right? So if you just have like a can of something open, sand's going to get in there because, kids. And so I took this other lid off, took the insert out, and used the actual like drink topper, which comes with a straw if you want that, but I didn't. But it has just like a regular like flip up like drink lid. And that's what I used at the beach the entire time. Sand was never in my drink.
Nice.
So like it's just really awesome because I don't need 6,000 things. I just bring this and an extra like my extra drink lid, and that's it.
And you're set.
I'm set.
That's great.
And then they got me with that, and then I bought more. Well, we bought these for Christmas presents for a bunch of people.
Nice.
Right? And then they came out with their newest product, which they have a bunch of different ones. This one, like I said, this is the main one's called the Universal Buddy. They have an XL one, which is for like bigger things like Gatorade bottles and stuff like that. But then they come out with the To-Go Buddy. And I have that, and I freaking love it. And I bought one, and again, also has a regular just like drink lid, so just a giant-ass tumbler. But it fits almost every size container from Starbucks, McDonald's, Dunkin', Taco Bell.
Oh, that's awesome.
Tim Horton. Like I went on when we were going to talk about my trip to Kentucky this past weekend. I brought it with me and I wasn't feeling great, so I got the Medicine Ball tea, which is absolutely amazing. I'm not a fan of Starbucks, but I do love this tea. Got a Medicine Ball tea, fits right into this thing, kept it warm all day for me.
That's
rather
great.
than like having to like suck it down real fast because it's going to be cold. Kept it warm all day. Fits all different kinds. Jason and I went and got some like fast food through my drink. Like not dump, like just literally fit the entire drink like right into it.
That's awesome.
So it's amazing. I can't talk about it enough. So when they asked if I was like, hell yeah. I don't even care about like, I mean, obviously I don't care about the money, but like I talk about this product all the time. You know how they make fun of people that like, oh, I do CrossFit.
Yeah.
Oh, I have whatever. I'm vegan. All that. That's me. I'm that, but with Frostbite. And they have all different types of like patterns and stuff, and then they do like they have right now it's Halloween, so they have a bunch of like spooky patterns and whatever. But they haven't done custom because as shit.
Oh,
do custom, we're getting Dram Yinzer ones.
100%.
I will get their entire line in Dram Yinzer.
But until then, you can always stick your Dram Yinzer sticker on that.
You could, because it's got the nice outer. Unless you had some crazy pattern, but like I said, I just have the regular gray. But you could stick the stickers on the front. Yep. So anyway, check out our link in our bio for Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, all the social media bios. I'm going to put it on the website. I got to do that too. So how it works is if you use our link that we provide to go to Frost Buddy's website, and then you buy something and pay for it and everything like that, we'll get like a portion of that like for the show. So, but you got to use our link. If you just go in, you can't like go back and
Yeah.
So yeah, that's our last little new promotional thing.
Huzzah.
Because I don't like to just. I mean, we could probably do like ads.
Yeah.
For just like I'm sure we could get like products like to do ads, but I like doing ones that I know.
Right. No, you don't want
or have like a reputable like Aaron loves X. Sure, Aaron, I'll promote that because I know you like it. You know what I mean? Like,
yep.
But anyway,
like to have personal experience with it.
All that to lead up to Zachary, sir. Happy 5 years, bud.
Happy 5-year anniversary, bubs.
Today, as of we're recording, this is obviously going to come out after our 5 year, but as the day we are recording this is our 5 year
it is.
Anniversary of coming up. And 2 days is somebody's birthday.
Yes.
So, happy birthday.
Thanks, buddy.
Yeah, I can't. It's so. I mean, COVID is a blur, right? COVID was a blur.
It's a blurb.
But it's crazy to me that we're 5 years in and we still don't know anything.
Checks out.
Yeah. So, I mentioned earlier, this past weekend, I went on a barrel pick with PWF with a select group of guys and gals because Gina was there too because Gina's amazing. Shout
out to Gina.
And she So you were supposed to go with me, but then you realized it was the same weekend as your cousin's wedding.
Yes.
And so you had to back out, which is good because if you followed our Instagram stories and reels and stuff, me and Jason LaFave, Bullets and Bourbon is what his handle is. Him and I were doing all kind of cross promoting, like, you know, him and I were driving down together. But no, I had a really good time. It was really cool. There was, I need to sit. There was, so typically on these panels, there's 6 people. 6 people on a selection team. It was myself, Jason, Scott, not that Scott, different Scott. I apologize, Scott.
It's okay, other Scott. We like you too.
No, I don't want to say the wrong. I know this last. I just don't want to say the wrong. Yeah, Scott Bartholomew. I knew that. I'm just, you know, I never trust myself. So it was me, Jason, Scott Bartholomew, which is the first time I got to meet Scott. He's a really cool dude. He was actually down in Kentucky for the entire week. His back of his car was like almost dragging. He was buying a bunch of stuff for himself, his friends, like every, you know.
Oh my
he made a whole week out of it. I was like, good for you, dude. Harold Walker. Harold's a really cool dude that I got to meet for this first time. Aaron and his wife, Gina. So that was the crew that we had. And yeah, so it was on a Friday at 2 is when the pick was, but Jason and I left at 8 in the morning on a Thursday. Him and I took both days off because I was just like, we're going.
Yep.
And we ping-ponged our way down to, it was Danville, so probably about an hour-ish south of Lexington. Mm. So we had a decent drive, like about a 6-hour drive. So, you know, we just kind of pinballed down there. We stopped at you cross the border from Ohio into Kentucky, and you got New Riff's literally right there on the river. New Riff's there. There's this massive liquor store called Party Source that the owner of New Riff used to own, but sold it to the workers years ago. So those two, bam, bam, hit. You don't even have to leave your move. It's in the same parking lot. Mm-hmm. New Riff was right there. We realized that Boone County was right off the highway. So I was like, well, might as well stop at Boone County too. And then we thought about hitting a couple other ones on the way, but it wasn't like all the ones we would have passed. We've both either one of us has been to, so we decided we were only go to ones that neither of us had been to. So we could both experience those places for the first time. Might as well have that kind of experience rather than like me going somewhere where I've been already. Even if if Jason really wanted to go, I didn't. He was driving, so I was at his will. So we didn't hit anything else, and that's the other thing people don't realize about the trail. They're not like right next to each other.
No, it's
like okay, those two were. Mm-hmm. They were like 20 minutes apart. Yeah. And some of the urban ones in like Louisville and Lexington, like those ones are close, but like Buffalo Trace,
they're all
over
the state. There's no straight line.
And we wanted to get back into town, early enough because we knew we were going to do dinner, and we wanted to do some bourbon hunting, whiskey hunting while in town because there was a bunch of stores in town. So we decided, you know what, let's just head back in. And we hit up. They have one of the locations of Liquor Barn, which is like one of the like premier ones. It wasn't like the original one; it was like one of their like offshoot one. Went there, went to another one, got a couple different things here and there, and then went out to dinner. Had a great dinner. Had a makeshift share, which you'll see our reels and our TikTok. I did that one in the hotel in the lobby of the Holiday Inn.
Love that.
People were coming in from like their own bourbon trail experience going, what is this? So we made a lot of friends. Both nights. We did both nights. We had to share. In fact, the second night we had said, like, I think Harold said something to like the hotel people at the front desk. And he's like, listen, if we're too loud, just please like yell at us, basically. And they're like, oh, no. Word's gotten out that you guys have a party here at night. So people are expecting. I was like, oh, shit. So anyway, first night was a lot of fun. Got to really know everybody. Saturday, had nothing to do until 1:45, which is when we had to be at Wilderness Trail. And Wilderness Trail was literally 10 minutes down the road from where we were staying.
That's great.
So not that long of a thing. So Jason and I were like, fuck it. Let's go to Bardstown. Let's go to Mecca of bourbon.
Right.
And so we hit Bardstown Bourbon Distilling, which was really cool. Neither of us had been there. The really cool thing is the master distiller was just walking around like the store. He was signing bottles as people were buying them, right? And then there kind of was like there wasn't any line for a while. So then he just started walking up to the shelves and just signing like 5 bottles per like section that they were doing. So I got their main offering with his signature on it. So that was kind of cool. Yeah. We didn't do any extra tours because we were just like, I mean, it would be cool to do them, but like for me and you and like Jason, like this crew, like we've done them. Once you've done one, you've done them all. Now it's fun to see like some differences that places do, but the verbiage is just like the cadence is the same. You use this kind of grain, and we use this, and it turns it into beer, and like that whole like bop, 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 kind of thing.
There's a rhythm.
So we didn't do any tours outside of Wilderness Trail. So yeah, we did Bardstown, and then we just walked around like downtown Bardstown. Him and his wife had been there before, so he was kind of showing me around, like, oh, we got to go to this store. This is a new liquor store. Let's pop in here. We popped into this place called Blind Pig, which is a small liquor store, like mom and pop liquor store. I got to meet the owner. I was chatting him up for a bit, and then he was familiar with like Dad's Hat, like he knew that because Herman their distribution is outside. They distribute everywhere, almost everywhere. And so Jason, because you know me, I don't like to talk about myself. So outside of on here, so it takes a lot for me to like courage up and say like, oh, I have a whiskey podcast. Like, it usually doesn't come out as structured as it is in my head. I'm in a whiskey podcast, so Jason was talking me up, and the owner went, "Oh, you have one?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm based in Pittsburgh, blah blah blah." So he's like, "Okay, hold on, I'll be right back." And he goes into the back, and he gets a bottle. He does his own blending, and this was his latest blend that he did, and it's called Big Bad Wolf Bardstown, and he gave it to me. And said, I want you to review this on your show and then tag us when you're done. Let me know what you think. So that's going to be a show coming up. Is going to be the Big Bad Wolf of Bardstown blend from the Blind Pig. But guy was great. I bought a shirt. There was no like Blind Pig merch, but he had like some fun shirts. So I bought a shirt, and I was going to get a shirt, some stickers, a couple bottles of water because we knew we were going to need water later. And he only charged me for the shirt.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. I was like, I will be back, and I will be promoting the heck out of the Blind Pig.
Absolutely.
So it was really fun. And then we got to Wilderness and went right into the pick. There's pictures up on our highlights on Instagram. Beautiful little like private room, big ass leather couches, leather chairs. They had everything set up, 4 options to choose from, 4 whiskeys we were blind trying. It was really cool, so we all went through, read our notes down. They gave us like limestone water and all this kind of stuff, and crackers, like oyster crackers to like kind of just like
cleanse the palate.
Yeah. And it was a really cool experience. I felt a little like I had to be on the ball because I was like, I gotta be, But everyone was super chill.
Yeah.
It made me feel good because I was like, I think I'm getting this, and then like Harold would be like, yes. So I was like, okay, I know what I'm talking about. This is really cool.
This is great.
So it came down to we all decided that it was either number 2 or number 3.
Yeah.
And we were, was it 4-2 or? Yeah, 4-2. So we everyone 4-2 with number 3 was the vote. I felt the strongest that I said, nope, I don't want 2, I want 3. Scott was like, I don't want anything but 2. So then the guy that was running the pick for us grabbed both those bottles, walked into the back, poured 2 brand new samples, and mixed it, didn't tell us which one was which, so that he reblinded Scott and I. And then, if we both flip-flopped and it stayed the same 4-2. If we both went for one, and then if we both went for one, it was definitely going to be that one, right? Because that means one of us stayed, one of us flipped,
Right.
And we both flipped.
Really?
He's like, I like this one, I like that one. And they're like, you guys just picked the other ones that you said you were passionate about. I was like, that's funny. So it still ended up being the third choice that we had. And the nice thing about Wilderness Trail, it's already barreled, or it's already bottled. So we literally left with a barrel, not the barrel. They had already used the barrel.
Right.
A barrel and all the bottles.
That's great.
Rather than having to wait, because a lot of times you have to wait.
Yep.
And then they gave us a tour. It wasn't a private. I mean, we were all on a tour. It wasn't a private tour, but we were the biggest group in the party. And yeah, tour was great. They have a massive campus. They are continuously building new, they build a rick house, fill it, and as they're filling it, they're building another one because they know they're going to need to fill another one. $10 million to build one rick house.
Wow.
Yeah. And they're massive. I think it was 6 floors, but super long. There's another photo on our highlight that's just this. I'm only halfway down, and it's still super long.
It's like football fields full of whiskey.
Yeah. So, super cool, great experience. Highly recommend if you're ever down there. Definitely check out Wilderness Trail. And then they do open fermentation, so when you go to Liberty Pool and you look at the fermenter tanks, it's all closed. Theirs are all open. Now it's a sealed room, so you're not getting all. But you walk in and it's just
aromatic.
I just want to jump in there.
Ooh,
but you don't because it's
aromatic.
super hot.
Yeah.
But it was cool because they had 6 fermenter tanks, and they were all in different stages of the fermentation. So they showed us one that was we just 5 a.m. this morning we filled this up. So it was kind of cool. And then they had one that was this was yesterday, and you could feel the heat from the whole fermentation process coming off it. And then he's and this one's getting ready to be put into the go into the still and everything like that. And that one had a little bit of heat come out, but there was no bubbles, it was done. So that was kind of cool to see it. When you got closed ones, oh, okay, cool, yeah, that or whatever. But you could actually see the physical difference. So that was neat. Yeah. The only other place I've seen that has open fermenter tanks is Wild Turkey.
Yeah.
And I do remember the smell walking into the room was just absolutely beautiful. So we picked their bourbon, but they have 2 mash bills for bourbon. They have a rye bourbon and a wheated bourbon, and we did the rye one. It was really, really cool, and it was a really cool experience. Jason and I didn't do anything the next day because we were dead ass tired. We stayed up again, had another makeshift share. And what's funny is a wedding party showed up, mother of the bride, the aunt of the bride,
that's great.
All showed up and were drinking whiskey with us and everything like that.
That's so
and it was
funny.
really cool. Yeah.
I love that.
Jason and I even passed where they were having their wedding. I was gonna crash it. Just walk in with the bottles of whiskey. Hey,
We brought gifts.
But you missed out.
I know.
But we're gonna get you on another trip one.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was my trip, and that was my experience with doing a barrel pick. So if you ever have a chance to, again, if you're part of Episcopal Whiskey Friends, make sure Aaron or somebody in the admins know that you're interested in doing one. Because then they'll kind of go through. They have a running list of people that they're oh, this person would really like to do this one, or whatever. So yeah, if you've not part of the group, you should be. But if you ever get a chance to do a barrel pick experience with any sort of group, definitely go for it. It's really cool.
Love it, dude. That sounds like you had such a great time, man. I'm so glad that you went. So thanks for going and repping for us.
The specs, 4 years, 8 months is the age statement.
Nice.
202 bottles was the yield. Here's the best part. the owners of Wilderness Trail started by making they started with a company that sold yeast to distilleries. Guess who they sell yeast to this day?
Who?
Liberty Pole.
No way.
Liberty Pole. Jim, please correct me if I'm wrong, but the girl behind the counter saw my hat. She was like, "We sell them yeast because the owner was here and he was on my tour," and like she was telling me all about it. So, Jim, if that's incorrect, please yell at me. But yeah, I thought that was a cool. So if that is true, that's a really cool like, tie-in. Yeah.
And how long was it before we talked about Liberty Pole?
I don't know because we were chatting a bit before we even started, so I don't know.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Whatever.
I'm not saying it's a problem.
No, it's not.
I was just curious.
At
this point, it's like a game.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, it sounds like you had a great time.
It was a lot of fun.
That
I
sounds
can't wait
awesome.
to go on another one. Yeah.
Next one, I'll be
They've been
there.
trying to get both of us on a couple. I was supposed to go on the Dad's Hat one, and I had to back out for just scheduling at the last minute. I was
Fall
like,
is hard, man. Fall is hard. I mean, that's school stuff is in full swing in the fall. You know, you got especially like kids' activities are on weekends, especially in the fall, because you're trying to like soak up every little bit of like, okay, we can still do stuff before it gets like bitterly cold, like it does out here in the winter.
And that trip was just, it was needed for me for a lot of reasons, but also because the previous week that I went, then like so 2 weeks ago, Lisa was on location. She was in Wisconsin for work for the entire week.
Yeah.
So I was solo parenting the whole week.
Yeah.
So I definitely needed this trip after that. I
Yep.
mean, I love my son, but a week together is a lot. Anyway, but what was really nice about this is like Jason and I really had like no expectations. So, you know, if you dig back into our show archives, you can go back to the roundtable I did for Lee's bachelor party when I took those guys down there. And I had a lot of fun on that. You know, it was really cool, like seeing all those guys, like first experience with Kentucky and everything, those that did have the first experience. But I was in host mode, which is fun. I love host mode. But you're kind of it's a different, yeah. So this was just like, Jason and I was like, where do you want to go? I don't care. Where do you want to go? We were both indecisive. It was not good especially for picking anything to do that weekend.
Oh, well, it's good I wasn't there because we wouldn't have gone anywhere.
No. And
you both bring up valid points.
Yeah. And so this one was just like, it was a very relaxing trip.
Nice. That's
like
great.
I've done some of the big boys. We were going to try to make Jim Beam work, but it was just too far out of the way. We would not have got back in time. Yeah. No, I mean, it was, so Bardstown was like 45 minutes to an hour from Danville.
Okay.
So that was a hike because we left a little later because we went out to, we went out to breakfast the next day. We just had hotel breakfast out. So from Bardstown, it was only like 20 minutes to Beam, but I was like, well, then that's over an hour, and we had to get back, eat lunch, and then get to Wilderness Trail for 1:45. You know what I mean? So we didn't really want to play around with time. Now, if it was like in the morning, like if the pick was in the morning, we would have gone to Beam.
Sure.
Because Jason's had bad luck with Beam. The last like 3 times he's tried to go there, either were randomly closed for renovation, or just closed.
Yeah.
Like they got there after they were like their hours. He's like, I have bad luck. I said, well, let's go because I've done it and it worked for me. Like showing up randomly. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. I can't wait to go back.
That's awesome, dude.
And I can't wait to take you next time.
I know. I can't wait to go.
I'll make sure.
We'll go and hold hands.
I'll make sure next time it's the 3 of us, me, you, and Jason, because that'll be a trip.
That'll be a hit. We'll get a good share going in the hotel.
So, in honor of 5 years, which I thought that was kind of perfect timing that I went on this pick around our 5-year anniversary and everything like that. But I've been sitting on these samples since my birthday. So Jim Wigan, Jim, I probably pronounced that incorrectly, so yell at me later. Big fan of the show, a friend of ours, is bartender down at Liberty Pole. Real great person, like really great guy to know. I went and had my birthday there, right? And he walked over and handed me a box And I was like, what's this? He's like, it's your birthday present. I was like, why'd you get me? You didn't give me nothing. You're going to make me drinks all day. That's a birthday present enough. And he gave me 5 blind samples from his collection. He didn't tell me, he wouldn't give me like a genre, like a region or a type. Like he was just like, it's 5 random ones from my collection, which literally could be anything because he was just like in like Scotland recently, like earlier this year. So I literally have I mean, I have the list, but I have not. I've left him on unread on Facebook Messenger because I'm like, I don't want to accidentally see these.
Yep.
So, Jim, I promise I was not ignoring you, and you will get a message from me tonight.
I give this guy 5 samples, and he leaves me on read.
This motherfucker.
Never gonna just. Next time, I'm spitting in the bottle.
So he gave me 5. It's our 5 year. This is gonna be a longer show. Deal with it, people. We're gonna do these 5 tonight, and I have what they are, so we'll reveal what they are at the end.
It's our anniversary.
It's our anniversary.
Oh.
Our last couple of shows have been super short, so
Yeah. It was due.
let me put my Frost Buddy that you can buy if you go to our link at our bio away, and we'll go through these. All right, so he just labeled them A, B, C, D, E. So I guess we just start with A. And again, he would not tell me type, where it's from, bourbon, rye, nothing. Irish, Scotch, nothing. So full on blind. It literally could be anything. Yeah. We're probably going to get every one of these wrong.
Ration. Ooh, I can smell that from here, and it smells fabulous.
So I am a little bit stuffy, and I try to do some like nasal spray and like clear my nose out. So we may be relying on your nose tonight.
Oh dear.
Deal with it. Oh, that's
mad
like
fruity,
beautiful, like fruit, like crisp white wine. Mm-hmm. I'm glad you said it first, because then I know I'm not like just smelling nothing. Okay, now that hurt. Yeah, that is beautifully crisp on the nose.
Have you ever had I'm gonna butcher the name of this. It's like frost wine. It's when they pull the grapes after the first frost.
No.
And so the grapes are pulled cold. And then the wine is served chilled.
I mean, I've had frozen grapes before. But
yeah.
No.
The grapes are pulled chilled, and then the wine is served cold.
Is that what you're getting out of this?
This reminds me of, it's just got that, like, even just my nose on the glass, there's a cooling sensation that I'm getting through the nasal passage as I sniff it. And as soon as you said a white wine, I was like, yes, specifically the frosted grapes. Mm-hmm. Because those wines are also very sweet. They're a very sweet grape wine.
Okay.
And this smells mad sweet.
Yeah.
I'm going to look it up at some point.
Not what I was expecting.
No, super fruity on the nose, but on the palate. All right, this is weird. It was cool on the nose, but warm in the palate.
Yeah. Yes. Like a nice, like cinnamon warmth.
Yeah. Very earthy spices.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. A little bit of lingering. No crazy like hug or anything right off the bat. I would say 110 proof is my guess. I haven't determined what it is, but
no, I don't know what it is.
I mean, I want to say high rye bourbon because, or high rye content because of those spices.
Yeah, I do want to say bourbon.
I'm just gonna go say high rye ...
High rye.
Like this isn't like I don't know. I said we're gonna get all these wrong because I literally have there's no, like, like when we've done like the advent calendars, we knew like, oh, this came from Bobby. These were all gonna be barrel proof. Mm-hmm. These came from Alex. These were all gonna be heavily peated scotches.
Just go stick your face in the bog.
Aaron threw a bunch of wild turkey at it. Like we knew what people, but like Jim has an eclectic taste in whiskey, so I do love this nose.
Oh, the nose is gorgeous. It's oily. It's coating my tongue.
Mm-hmm. I know, like the nose, like there's some vanilla undertones in there, but that warm baking spice is just following right through. And yeah, I enjoy that. What? Did you get something weird there in the end?
No, it's something new. I'm trying to figure out what it was.
On A.
Yeah, an A. Cheers, love.
What did you say for proof for A?
115.
115. Gotta Price is Right me.
That's right. Well, I almost said 112, and I was like, don't be a dick. At least get halfway to the next benchmark.
All right. Now on to B. I know I already said it too, but Jim, thank you very much again for this, man. That was just like, you did not have to do this. I was not expecting anything from anybody. So opposite nose from the previous one.
Yeah.
No, but like darker notes.
Yep.
Right? Like the last one was light and crisp. This is dark. I'm going to get a decent amount of alcohol on that, but
I think
go ahead.
if I do a slow, deep breath with my mouth closed, I get a lot of oak.
Yeah.
Ooh, that one was new. Hold on. Cranberry.
So, yeah, okay, thank you. I was getting something like a darker, like a yes,
Tart.
Yes.
There's a tartness to it. Oh, man, now I can smell cranberry.
Yeah, love. Again, different, but still enjoyable. High cinnamon note. What is that on the end? Give it a second. What is that note at the end? What is that, like, dry something? Massive cinnamon note at the beginning.
It's so funny. This one's heavier on the nose, but lighter on the palate.
I was going to say that, yeah. This is drier.
Not as oily.
No. Wow.
This would be great with a steak.
So it is a little crisp, but no, yes, great with a steak with all its darker notes on it. But this is a very like warming.
Yeah.
Once you kind of get into it.
Yeah. No, I'm still feeling the warmth expanding from the center of my chest right now, but not aggressively.
You get in a little bit of like the oak, like charness.
Yeah.
Like there's a teen. When I say smoke, I'm not talking peat. Like
No.
or like smoked was. But there is like a smoked something. Like I said, like a little bit of like the char. You said you smelled a lot of oak on that.
Yeah.
I wonder if this is like a toasted barrel.
Maybe. Yeah, that makes sense.
Like a toasted barrel finish or something.
Yeah. I did. Before I picked up on the cranberry, I was getting really deep, almost kind of like, truly, it was almost like somebody took the bark and held a match up to it, and they started to char the bark.
105. No, I'm sticking with it. That's what my gut said. What do you think? Proof and type.
I think it's rye.
Okay.
It's got a really peppery finish. But there's something else there. I'm trying to figure out what the last thing is that you were looking for.
Yeah, I can't pick it out.
But I can't. We have 3 more to go. I can't fill this back up. I had to drive home. The thing is, though, the impression stays, but the impression from 30,000 feet stays.
Mm-hmm.
But the distinctive notes, the details, kind of go quick. Like I can't hold on to the flavor long enough to figure out what it is.
Yeah.
Like I can taste the
Well, I think
marriage of everything.
That's that drying aspect of it at the end.
Yeah.
Like the oily one, it sticks with you, but the dryness is just kind of like
It really is.
takes it.
This is like sucked up all the oil from the first one.
Like it was almost like dried flour. You know what I mean? Like something like that, like a dried starch, which would make sense. But like I don't think it was like a maltiness.
It wasn't malty. I think it was a rye.
Okay.
I'm gonna say 112. I said 115 last time.
I know. All right. C.
Back on that fruit train.
Uh-huh. But a different fruit. Sorry,
Yeah.
Mike talking. I'm pulling at you and not talking into the mic. But
I
a
know.
different fruit. While A has... Ooh, going back to A, that definitely has to be a bourbon. That has a very bourbony nose. With a, like... But this is...
My gut off the bat was apricot.
Yeah, I was going to say like a stone fruit, apricot, peach, like that kind of... Yes. Are those stone fruits? Would that technically be called a stone fruit? I don't know.
I think so.
I don't know things. As we're clearly...
I drink and don't know things.
Yeah, so it's a different fruit than A.
Yeah, I'm getting peach, I'm getting apricot, I'm getting plum. Bit of plum.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's interesting.
Sesame.
Okay. So I was going to say like a malt spice. Oily, again.
Oily. Really light.
Yeah.
Really-
it dies out. Yeah.
No hug.
No.
Almost like water. Not in flavor, but in consistency and
Yeah, there's an interesting malt factor to it. Which this might be some sort of like American single malt or some sort of single malt. American or otherwise.
it's also a little salty.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Jim's probably going, you idiots.
Probably.
Jim, I want play-by-play. I want live texting to me as you're listening to this.
Yeah. Just be like minute 102. You pricks. Almost a little briny.
94. I feel like we're going down in proof. We're doing an
80.
anti-vertical. You're going to 80. All right. You said a little bit of salty, like briny.
Salty, briny. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't hate that.
I've got my mental ratings for...
Oh, okay. Yeah, I figure we'll do ratings before, like when we're all done with all 5,
Rate them and then
but before
reveal.
the reveal.
Yeah. Makes sense to me. Shoot.
Now we're on to D.
He's nuts.
Got him.
Huh?
Ah!
Sorry. This is why we can't have nice things.
Jim was just actually, now that I think about it, Jim was just at Heaven Hill for a barrel pick for Fatheads.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Whoa. Hello.
I feel like I really have to get in there. It's a light nose.
Massive, like, leather. No, not leather. Forget I said that. Scratch that out.
It's familiar, though. Okay, this is going to sound so friggin' weird.
You think it's theirs?
What?
I don't know. Go ahead.
Remember what Toys R Us smelled like?
Yeah. That's what you think this is? I mean, yeah. God, I can't put it. It's not it's not leather, it's not oak, it's some like creaminess to it. If you could get that on the nose.
We've moved past Toys R Us. We've grown up a little bit. Definitely not sweaty butt scooters.
Yeah. What the fuck?
There is a plasticky quality to
Do you
this.
think this is finished? Like, am I getting some sort of like finished barrel?
I think so.
Let's dive into it. Let's see.
There is a spicy grape.
I'm diving into this. No, it was like a white dog, like off the still, like creamy note. That's what I was getting. It finally clicked. That is interesting.
Okay, I got a lot more cream on the palate.
No idea what the fuck this is.
Nope. I've never had anything like this before.
Super creamy, but like a peppery spice on it towards the back. Lingers for a bit. Like that spicy note stays for a bit. Not getting any crazy hug. I don't know if I still stick to the barrel finished, but no idea what this is. No clue what this is.
Can't stop smelling Toys R Us. I'm not saying that's a bad thing.
I know you're not.
It's just this is the closest thing my memory has to a smell that I can relate to this.
Well, we've always been better at memory smells than anything.
Than the actual smells. Oh, I know Bobby could come in here and be like, it's boom, 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 boom. And I'm like, remember this one time I went down to my grandparents in 1995?
That is a beautiful creamy note at the beginning. 100. No, maybe. The spice is throwing me off for the proof.
Yeah, the spice is throwing me off for the proof as well.
I'm going to play it safe and say 100. Yeah.
I'm saying I think it's malty.
Okay. That would make sense with my whole, like, off the still kind of white dog you know what I mean?
Yeah, the creaminess. It's kind of got some of that, like, cereal flavor to it a little bit. I'm going to say malted. I don't know single malt, but malted.
Like a high malted content.
Yeah.
Which could equal single malt.
It could, but...
What do you think the proof is?
I'm so bad with proofs, man. I'm bad at...
What's your gut saying? 1, 2, 3, proof, go. That's not how you do this game.
94.
Okay.
The spice is throwing me off.
It is. It was at the end, too, because it lingered.
It doesn't burn, though.
Okay.
It's spicy, but it doesn't burn.
So...
Did you have to let it linger?
E.
I'm so excited.
You want to talk about a crisp color. Mm-hmm. Light. I know as soon as I open this, we're going to get hit with a freaking nose like crazy. You ready for this? Crack.
Freaking knew it. Freaking knew it.
Woo.
Oh, that's beautiful.
It's almost like, so it's a peatiness, but it's like like I used peat moss to smoke a pork butt.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like a peaty smoked like beef jerky.
Yeah. There's a caramelization in there.
Yeah. Yeah, there's the peatiness, but there's that smoked something or other aspect to it. Wow.
It's freaking beautiful. I love this nose. I love this nose.
Guaranteed this is not sold in the U.S.
No, because this is my favorite nose so far.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure this is, if the flavor is anything like, then this will be my favorite one, which means that it'll have been like a one-time, like, you had to be alive in 1909 to buy this bottle.
Yeah. I like that voice you pulled out there.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Oh, all right. Damn it in. Last one. Wow.
Smooth.
How it smells is how it tasted.
Yeah.
Like 1 to freaking 1.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Right?
Oh my goodness. He knew what he was doing when he made this E.
Wow. I have never had anything that the nose and the palate were the exact same notes.
Oh, I could bathe in this.
This is beautiful.
It's smoky, it's peaty, but it is sweet and silky and smooth.
That's dangerous.
Oh my goodness.
I'm gonna say 80s, like 84.
I'm right there with you. I'm gonna say 84 too. But I would be more afraid to drink this than anything else because I would be able to just keep putting it away and I would be dead.
Yeah.
What happened? He poisoned his liver.
Alcohol. Good way to go. All right. Let's go through A through E. Overall ratings. A.
Haas.
Agreed. B.
Haas.
I'm gonna say it downtown
Okay.
because I don't want. I mean, they're all magnificent.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna try to be a little like picky.
Yeah.
You know,
I get that.
Because like I would go with C over B.
Oh, see, I would have gone with B over C.
Really?
C was a downtown for me.
Okay. All right.
C was too salty. I couldn't do a full pour of C. But it wasn't bad. But I would encourage people to try that one before they bought because it is very different.
D for me is a Haas because it's so freaking interesting. I just want to know what it is, and I want it.
D for me was a downtown.
Okay.
Again, it was interesting. It was different. It was good, but I don't know that I need to have it on hand.
I like funkiness, so
I know you
I
do.
would be like, try this weird shit.
Yeah, this tastes like Toys R Us smells.
And then E.
Oh, a Haas tonight. If you would tell me where it is.
Haas, buy it now. Fly overseas and go buy this because you probably can't buy it in the States.
This is. If we do another pour after we turn off the mics,
I mean,
it's E.
is this the if we had to pick a
E.
top of the 5? Yeah,
E.
same. Yeah.
It's like if somebody toasted a s'mores over a peat fire.
Telling you, I just took a bite of pulled pork, like a really well smoked pulled pork, left the bite in there, and then took a sip of some other peatiness, and the flavors married together. All right, we may have to do some researching because I probably don't know what some of these are, but
It's like a smoky, honey, caramelized, just a little bit of salt, a little bit of savory, but not overpowering. And oh my goodness, do I want some crackling right now?
all right, you may look these up.
Let's do it.
All right. Huh. Okay. I'm going to have to look a couple of these up. Oh, yes, please. Yes. Okay. A. We were correct on, well, you were correct on the bourbon. I was real wrong because it was Weller foolproof.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be a high. Right, Weller's a freaking weeder, so I was way off. So bad on me. This next one I want to look it up because I don't know what this is. Give me 1 second.
Holy smokes.
What?
Weller foolproof on the secondary.
Oh God, it's insane.
$450.
Yeah, fuck the secondary. That could die when it comes to Weller. Oh.
Did he give you the proofs?
He did. Well, foolproof is
Weller foolproof is 114.
Yeah. What did I say? 115. No, you said 115. I said 110.
You technically would have won the prices right.
I win.
I went over. Closest number without
See,
going
you
over.
should have stuck with your freaking gut. You wanted to go 112.
I did. But I didn't want to be a jerk. What's the other one?
All right, the other round.
What's B?
Iron Root Republic. Harbinger 115 out of Texas.
Oh, what did we say?
I thought it was like a toasted barrel. You thought it was a rye. So it's a straight Texas bourbon bourbon.
Okay. Which one is it? The Harbinger 115?
Oh, this is so here. Listen to the grains that they use here: purple corn, bloody butcher corn, flint corn, non-GMO yellow corn, and rye.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4 different corns and a rye. That's why it tasted so. That's why I was like, "Is this a toasted barrel?"
Which one is this? The Harbinger 115? Mm-hmm. It's a dope bottle.
Mm-hmm. All right. Next.
All right, C. I'm very curious to know what C was.
C. I mean, I've heard of this one.
C was interesting. C and D had me stumped.
C was Old Fitzgerald, 19 year. Their bottle of bond. What are you looking at?
The old Fitzgerald.
Oh.
I like to look at the bottles.
Oh, yeah. Old Fitzgerald. Interesting.
I just said Dan Tan on a bottle on the secondary that is going for $1,200.
Yeah.
When I typed in Old Fitzgerald 19 on Google, comparisons were like, how does this compare to the Pappy Van Winkle? And I was like, oh no, I'm a basic bitch.
Yeah, I mean, Compass, Total Bourbon, PB Express, they're all like almost like $1,000.
Yeah. I don't know. It's not $1,000 whiskey to me.
D had you had said something malty. I had no idea what it was. It is Frey Ranch single barrel rye distiller pick.
The bottles on these are beautiful.
Frey Ranch has a really nice bottle.
That's gorgeous.
He didn't give me the proof on this one, but like, if it's barrel strength, they're all like the ones they're showing me like 130 some, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So we were both in like the 90s. We both said 94. If that's a 130 proof whiskey,
Cetus Lapidus. This picture is saying Frey Ranch straight rye whiskey, 135 proof.
mm-hmm. Yeah, these are the ones I'm seeing too on their side.
Well, then hats off, because that was a very smooth 135.
Mm-hmm.
That might be able to tip me enough into being a Toys R Us kid again.
In E. So I'm pretty sure you can't get this in the States.
Of course.
I don't know where, because I don't know. I'm not.
You said
up.
you can or can't?
Can.
Okay.
I don't know where, though. We can do a little sleuthing here in a minute.
Yeah.
Octomore 13.1. So let's look this up.
I had an Octomore at the Share,
Mm-hmm.
and that was my pour of the night at the Share, too. I think I really like Octomore.
It is pretty. Scott brought two different Octomores with him on the trip. They're really good.
Cheapest I'm finding it for is $200. But I don't know if that's all secondary.
Yeah. I don't know when this one. So there might have been a.
No, 200 might be the regular one, because I'm seeing other places trying to shill this for $5.
And if it's, it's a 13.1, 118.4 proof. We both said 84.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, well, then I would be boned. Not to be, pardon the euphemism, but oh my goodness, this would mess me up.
So, Jim, thank you very much for sharing this with us. These were
My goodness.
absolutely fantastic.
What a journey.
Regardless of whatever rating we got, very generous of you. I honestly was not expecting anything. Definitely did not expect you to give me anything. Thank you for sharing these with me, with us. I mean, he kind of figured we'd probably do them on the show anyway.
Yeah.
Just, very humbled when people are generous like this.
Truly.
We're just a lowly whiskey podcast that we make whenever we get a chance to.
Yep. I just gave a $1,200 bottle of whiskey a Haas or a Dantan.
Hey, but if it ain't your style, it ain't your style. Boss.
This is true. I was looking at D, which was the Frey Ranch.
Frey Ranch.
And I'm looking at the reviews, and it's all like 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10. And I'm just kind of sitting here over here, and I was like, with my thumb in my nose going like, I would have given it like a 6. But again, it goes back to that old adage, you like what you like. And that's okay. It's so subjective. Whiskey is so subjective. It drives me crazy anytime people are kind of like, oh, can you imagine somebody liking this? And I'm just kind of like, yeah, I can. Because if they didn't, it wouldn't sell. It wouldn't be on the shelves. They wouldn't still be in business making this if people didn't like it. If your whiskey is Crown Apple, drink Crown Apple.
Yep.
If your whiskey is Pappy Van Winkle.
Drink it.
And you can afford / find it. God bless. Enjoy.
Who was I just talking to?
Just, I don't know. Drives me nuts.
They were talking about, like, they have friends. They're just like, oh, I just collect it. I don't want to drink it. Blah, blah, blah. Fuck off.
What good is it
like
doing?
what you like, but open the damn bottle.
I was going to say, what good is it doing anybody just sitting on the shelf with the seal uncracked?
Look around here, right? I could probably count on one, maybe two hands. One hand, probably. The bottles that aren't open on my shelf. And I'm not counting the ones that I just brought home because I haven't opened those yet.
Right.
But, like, all the stuff that's back, like, the show helps. But
Sure.
almost, I'd probably say 80% of my bottles are open.
Yeah. Oh, when I get a new bottle, the night I get home with that new bottle, I crack it open and give it a try,
Like,
because I bought it because I wanted
a lot of, like, the group picks aren't open.
Yeah.
Like, my Yellowstone pick ain't open for much. The Dad's Hat pick ain't open yet. But I had some of the Dad's Hat when I went and picked it up at gym.
Right.
Other gym. I had some. I got a backup of Old Forester Prohibition that's not open because it's my backup. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
So I would roughly say about 80% of my bottles are open.
I'd give you higher than that, 85, 90.
Well, I can't see everything in the back on the bottom couple shelves, so.
I don't count doubles as being
I don't have
unopened,
many. I don't have a lot of doubles. That's the thing. I do not have a lot of doubles.
I have 2 bottles of Buffalo Trace at home. One of them's unopened because it's like because I have friends who are my hookup, and they were they had just
couldn't find any of that down there.
Yeah. Well, they.
Although here's sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say they said, hey, you want a Buffalo Trace? I said, absolutely, I want a Buffalo Trace. I can't friggin' find it anywhere around here. Yeah. So they got me one. And they were like, hey, we're going to Kentucky next week. Do you want another bottle of Buffalo Trace? And I was like, if you find it, yeah, that'd be great. I mean,
I lied. We did find it at one spot, but it was like 32, and I was like, we don't drink it on the show enough. Like, we haven't really done our, like,
Buffalo Trace Maker's Mark.
Yeah, in a while.
Yeah. That was something we started with, but and
so we're not going through it as much anymore. So I'm like, let somebody else buy it.
Yeah. Well, if we ever want to do a throwback and take it back to that, I'll bring one of my bottles over.
Oh, mine's 3/4 of the way full.
Oh, yeah. See,
it's only the next gone on mine.
Well, that's the other thing too. Is it's like if you have a bottle that's rare, like a once in a lifetime bottle, you don't have to chug the dang thing,
right?
But it was not made to be looked at. It was made to be tasted. It's kind of disrespectful to the people who took the time to figure out how they put this time and this energy and this effort into this craft, into this art form. These are masters of their craft, and for you to collect it and let it sit on the shelf untasted it's a piece of their history that is not being experienced to its fullest potential, or the way it was intended to be, and to use it as basically a status symbol or a bit of dick measuring or something like that. It's so flies in the face of why it was made in the first place. You know, even the people at Pappy want you to drink the Pappy.
Yeah. I had another story, 2 stories, and I forgot what the one was. Another bit of whiskey hunting I did was there was a new to me. I don't know how long it's been there, but I didn't notice it last year. There's a newer liquor store in North Myrtle Beach near my aunt's condo, because we went there about a month ago, called the Liquor Library. And Lisa and I are like, well, let's go in there. I bet you we'll have our decent choices from, places to get, stuff to get. And I walked in, and I'm not kidding you. A, it was massive. B, the entire outer edge was all whiskey. All types of whiskey, too. Not just bourbon, whiskey, Irish, Scotch, like everything. Massive collection. I was like, holy crap. I mean, I spent probably 15 minutes just looking because of that much. And I don't really hunt. Like, I'm not going out and like driving out and like going on second and be like, there's no real big unicorns for me.
Mm-hmm.
Most because by the time I find out about some of these things, they're only secondary and I ain't doing that game.
Mm-mm.
But I found something that I've been wanting to get, and I double checked with the MSRP. The guy was selling it at MSRP. And Stellum, they make a rye. They make a rye and a bourbon. But they did a specific blend recently. And as a math teacher, marketing got me, and I was like, I want this. I don't care what it tastes like. I want it. They did a rye blend called the Fibonacci blend.
Oh, my gosh.
And they took 6 barrels and used the Fibonacci sequence to determine how to blend it.
That's amazing.
You know, like how to come up with whatever they wanted for. They didn't use all 6, obviously, because it's just dumping at that point. But they used the blend, the Fibonacci sequence to do it. And I was like, I need this. And he had it. And it had been sitting there for a bit. And it was at MSRP. Like, it wasn't like he didn't like jack up the price because it's been out for a bit. And I was like, oh, I need, like, so I was like, that was like the one thing I've always been, and I kept an eye out for, but never expected, especially in freaking North Myrtle Beach, off of 17, you know, a store off of 17, you know. Well, that was one of my more recent, like, ooh, I gotta get this.
Did you get it?
Oh yeah, I bought it. I looked at Lisa and I was like, listen, I know it's the beginning of our trip, and she saw the name and she's like, oh, you gotta get that.
Yeah.
She goes, well, is it overpriced? Like, did he jack up? I was like, no, this is what it's actually cost. I know it's the beginning of the trip, but I'm buying this.
Yeah.
You know, like, I need this. You know,
I want that.
Mm-hmm. But I had another point to make earlier about whatever we were talking about, and I forget what it was.
Not being a jerk and keeping the stuff on the shelf and status, etc.
All right. Whatever. Anywho's. Well, happy 5 years.
Happy 5 years, Bobby.
Did you have anything else you wanted to dive into on Mike? Or just keep going into this Octomore?
Oh, my goodness. I could bathe. I could bathe in this Octomore.
Holy shit.
It was your birthday present, so I don't want to clean you out.
Have some more, for Christ's
Are you sure?
Yes.
Just a wee dram. That's just a wee bit of the Octomore.
So, yeah. So, cheers to 5 years, sir.
Cheers to 5 years,
been a hell of
buddy.
a ride. You know, looking forward to what happens in the next year, 2, 3, 4, 5, you know, with the show.
15.
15 years, yeah.
We should barrel of whiskey now. And 15 years down the line.
True.
For our,
True.
when we're approaching 50.
Yeah.
We'll be like, this was. Wait, hold on. I'm a little sad now. I need a minute.
Yeah, but you're always going to be younger than me, so.
That hurt. Nope, didn't like that.
No, I do not like where I'm at.
That was a. Oof.
Oof.
That was a reality punch to the gonads. Ouch. You know what would help? Octomore 13.1.
130, 118 proof. But yeah. So again, Jim, thank you for this excellent gift.
Gentleman and a scholar.
Thank you to everyone who listens, who follows, does all that, buys shirts, buys hats, everything.
Gives us free stuff.
Gives us free stuff. Like, thank you so much. We wouldn't keep doing this if we didn't get any sort of love from anybody. And thank you to Aaron and the group.
Yeah.
You guys are always huge supporters. Yeah. I'm just enjoying this. If you want to support the show, you can go to our link on our profiles and Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, all that. You'll find a link to everything there. Actually, even easier than going to our website. And you'll find the new Frost Buddy promotional link.
Yep.
So
2023, social media is the new website.
So
I shouldn't say new. It's been around for a while now, but you know what I mean.
But anywho's.
Yeah. And honestly, like, it's so cool to know that, like, I don't know, whether or not people find this helpful, if they even find a little bit of joy just out of hearing us goof around, BS, two buddies just drinking and talking about stuff that they have no business talking about.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a good feeling just to know that we can add hopefully a little bright spot to someone's day. And if we can help you make a decision or make somebody who's feeling a little intimidated about trying this and hopefully put their mind at ease a little bit. I don't know. It's just, it's cool. And I appreciate it. I appreciate you, man. Thank you for 5 years ago coming over with Knob Creek and saying, I want to do a podcast. And I was like, yeah, can I do that with you?
That bottle actually resurfaced on the interwebs.
No way.
On the group that I'm in, where it came from.
Yeah.
Yeah, someone had posted in the one group and was like, I won this, or I found this, a friend gave this to me, and it was the Grumpy Groundhog, pick. And I was like, holy crap, like, there's still unopened bottles of this thing, 5.5 years later, 6 years later, crazy, Drink what you drink. Enjoy it.
Yep.
Open it. And fucking jag-offs.
Don't apologize. Don't apologize for liking what you like. It's not going to take away from anybody else's joy. Don't let them take away from yours.
I think the only other thing I have to say, Zachary, sir, wonderful 5 years. Cheers to you, sir.
John, Bubby, happy anniversary and cheers to you, sir.
And
cheers to Yins.